Hi guys, this is Arif from TechShare. Today I'm going to show you guys um, the Ordercloud um, journey. So the idea is, Sitecore has this Ordercloud product now. So this is a SaaS-based commerce engine, you can say. So you might have, known about Sitecore Commerce XE in different version like 10 or 9, whatever. But Water Cloud is very, sort of, it's not like that. It is just the SaaS product. So what you need to do is just configure and use it. So in that context, it is really, really easy to use, easy to configure. So my idea here now is to give you some brief about Order Cloud. So what I am going to do today, that's going to be the introduction, and then I'll cover a couple of more videos, very basic to advanced kind of scenario, so that you will get the idea, and you can easily create your storefront. You can easily create a marketplace by your own, and that will not take a lot of time. I think even if you don't have that proper technical knowledge, you can also be able to create your own storefront. So let's jump into that. All right. So what I'm going to do is, ordercloud.io. This is the website. You need to go there first of all. Now here, there is a portal button here. If you see my screen, and then what you can do here is, once you log in. By the way, you need to register first, and that is really easy. And then what I'll do now, I'll create a marketplace first. So in the marketplace tab, I can see there are a couple of marketplaces already created. So now I'm going to create another one, and there is a region. This is very important because if you are staying in Australia, then obviously you need to pick the closest region. This is which is Australia. If you are in Europe, then you can use the Europe. So you understand what I'm saying. So you need to pick the region very carefully, and then the environment is obviously sandbox. So you are not going to um, get out of sandbox until and unless you buy it, right? So it's fine. You can use the sandbox, and you can basically test all the features that you need to test. And then important is, this is optional, marketplace identifier, but now I'm going to create a marketplace name. So I can say my marketplace name is MP, uh, maybe uh, UT001. Let me test it like test MP001. All right. So once you create the marketplace, then you can see this is the very important sort of information that you'll get. So the region Australia East for me, and then environment, sandbox, and API server, which is also important because very soon you will see how could we use this API or endpoints in Postman or any other sort of API Explorer, where we'll be able to connect, we'll be able to get all the response and accordingly use them. Typically, if you are going to create your front end, storefront, whatever, then you can use this endpoint and get that sort of communication happening. Okay. So now we are ready to go. So we have the marketplace ready. So what I'll do is, I'll basically, next thing you need to go here is to, so your marketplace is ready. Now, what you need to do, you need to create your API console, which is the next part. So let me go and click that API console. Now, in the API console, see here, there are a couple of things it's very important to, clarify. So here you can see um, there are a couple of marketplaces I've created. So at this moment, I've created this one, test MP001, even though it is by default selected this one, MP001. See here. So I need to take this one. So let me select this one because this is the one I just created. So I have created a couple of sandbox. You can create your different environment, or you can say sandbox sort of test marketplace, and you can apply your sort of practice there, or you can create your marketplace from there, and then you can basically move on and go to the production, anything. So here, let me show you something. So here you can see this is sandbox, very important. And then here, if you expand, this is important because anytime if you want to know what is the base URL, This is the base URL, the region, and marketplace identifier. This is also important because you'll see a lot of time this is the identifier they use to distinguish different things. So that is also important. And then here you can see the context details and the access token. So you can copy this access token straight away, and you can see this access token has a full access. That basically means you can copy this access token and you can go outside and just simply, execute all the endpoints that you need to do. So that's different story, but I'm going to cover the very basic thing today. Okay. So now, since I have this marketplace created, the next thing we need to do is to test it, right? So what I can test now. Um, so let me go quickly and let me go here. Very interesting thing is, if you see here, let me collapse this one. So now we can see this left pan has a lot of different things we can test. So first of all, you can see here there is a authentication and authorization part, right? And they are basically these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll test that one, and then there is a seller. And this part of seller, you can see a lot of different sort of sub menu here. So you have a admin user. I'll click and I'll show you guys. And this is the buyers. And I will also explain what is this seller and what is this buyer. And then you can see here the suppliers and then product catalog and order and fulfillment. So they are all grouped here so that we can use and test. Typically, if you have a commerce website, then what we need? We need a couple of things. We need a backend system where I can create different products, I can create different settings for our user, I can create different groups, everything, right? As an admin of the storefront or the shop, right? Number one. On the other side, we also need the shoppers. Shoppers means the user who are actually visiting my website and trying to create buy something from there. So that term here is called buyers. Buyers means the shoppers. So anything under this buyer category, they are basically meant to use that buyer. Or if your user is a user who is going to buy something, they will fall into that category. And seller means you are the seller, means you are the admin of your storefront or your shop. So anything that you are going to manipulate through the system, you are going to find here the seller. And the other important thing is me and my stuff. So for example, if you are a admin user or if you are a seller, then me and my stuff would be totally based on you, and the context you have then is the seller. If you are a buyer, then the me and my stuff would be the context of buyer. So what I mean by that, I'll show you. So let me just hit this mean point now and send button. And if you hit the send button, then you'll see I select the me, and then you can see here uh, a lot of different endpoints I can use here. So by default, this is the get me, and you can say it says that current authenticated user. So if you hit that one, then you will see it has something like, okay, this is the company ID. So I did not explicitly mention any company ID. So that's why it is taking that, default sort of default ID. And then you can also see company ID basically means this marketplace identifier. And then username, see here, this is a GUID. There is nothing because we did not create any user yet. So this is the once you are already logged into the system, so Ordercloud will allow you to execute all this endpoint. Therefore, it needs to create a background user for you so that you can execute everything. So this is the user. So very soon we will see how could we access different user and do certain things. But you can see here the first name, last name. So it said default user, and then everything is default. All right. So now what we are going to do is we are going to explore the seller and buyer. So let's go and let me go to the buyer and hit that. So you can see there is no buyer. Who is buyer? Basically, buyers are them who will access our storefront or our shop to buy something. And obviously, there is nobody yet we have in that category. So I'll explore that one. And then in that admin seller part, there is that admin user. Obviously, you will not be able to get anything here too. All right. So now the next thing what we are going to do is we are going to create something. So let me before that, so we are going to create the mandatory, or you can say the very important thing is this, which is part of the admin. So this is your seller, and here you will see the API clients, and this is very important. So I am going to create an API client, and now the question is, what is API client, right? Just think API client a user or a platform, or you can say a interface. So when you are trying to access your shop, so we have created a marketplace here. You can see this is identified everything, right? So now you want user to be able to connect to this marketplace, or you want your other admin user to be able to connect to the marketplace. So they should use some sort of identifier so that this system can know that, okay, whatever the request I am processing, that request coming from the valid sort of context. They are not a virus, or they are not sort of other thing. So this is something important, that you need to create your API client, and when the request will come here, that request has some sort of identifier in it, so that this system can identify and check, okay, this request is a valid request, and this request coming as a part of this client ID. So that's why we need to specify simple client. So what we are going to do here is we are going to create a client for our seller client. Okay, seller API client, and seller means the owner of the storefront, which is basically the admin, because he's selling the product, right? So that's why what we'll do is we'll protect everything that we could do for that client. So that's why we are going to generate a client secret. We're going to name it, and then what we'll do is we'll, since this is the admin, so we'll allow almost everything. So we'll allow all seller. So when this particular client will be used, they will be able to use all the seller data and all the buyers data, even all the supplier. But since we are not dealing with the supplier at this moment, so we are not going to touch that part. But literally we are allowing these two, means they are the basically two important entities. And anonymous buyer, I'm not gonna do that for our seller. And then that's all. So you can say create new client. So this client is ready to use. And if I now go this client into this client, then say there is a client ID, it's created automatically, which is also important. So we are going to use that client ID later on when we are going to communicate to this system through the external application, right? So we did on for seller means when your admin try to add certain things, try to add different, try to do different operations, like creating a product, admin sort of activities he's going to do, creating a product, creating an user, or updating some stock, or you know uh, adding different shippings. So all these different type of administrative works or configuration, they need very so super sort of, they need a lot of different roles, different access levels. So that's why this is that client who has all those different permissions. So the permission thing is not yet come, I'll go there, but this is the client only. Okay, the client has created, this is the client. Now we are going to create another client for our shopper. So we can say here, this is the buyer uh, client, API client. All right. Now buyer API client, since there's just a buyer, so I'm not going to put any secret here. So secret is open, but you can anytime go and generate the random secret. But by the way, if you do that, then you need to make sure you're using this secret in your different client application. So I think just to keep it simple, I'm not gonna create any secret here. And then I am not gonna allow seller through this client, because this client is going to be purely for our buyers. So I'm going to put this one here. And I am going to anonymous. Okay, I am also going to allow the anonymous buyer, which is also important, because um, your buyer can be logged into your system, cannot be logged into your system. That could be a real user or maybe an anonymous user. So we should allow them. And even though a user is an anonymous user, that doesn't mean he could be a very random or guest sort of thing. See, he still needs some sort of token. So that's why we are going to allow this kind of thing here. Now I am creating this one. So you can see here this buyer has only so on role access buyer, and this one, this seller has sort of two different things here, right? So now we're almost did a lot of different things. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create our admin user. All right, so now since our client is ready, let's hit this admin user and create a admin user. So in the admin user, you can see at this moment there is nothing. So what I am going to do is I am going to use the create new admin user, because admin user is important. Through that user, you will be able to connect to the system, this system, maybe from here or external application that you have, and then you can add all the administrative works. You can add products, because we need to create a lot of different things, right? Um, so let's create an ID. So admin user, you can say admin user ID, and then active, yes, username, I can say the same admin user. Password is very important, so I'm going to password admin user 123, sorry, admin user admin @12345. Let me use this one. First name admin, last name user admin @email.com. So I'm just going to put the random sort of thing. So now I'm going to hit the send button. So once I hit the send button, then you can see the admin user is created with a, and company ID is important, which is basically our marketplace identifier. Username, password is here. It's not going to show you the password, but you have to memorize the password, and then all the data that I've just added here. Now if you say get a list of admin user, then you will be able to see this data that you've just created, right? So my admin user is created. So now let's go and create my other user, which is not an admin, but your buyer information. So let me hit, let me close this one. Okay, now in the buyer section, the first tab is buyer and users. What is buyer? There is a term called buyer organization, which is also important. Buyer organization means it is sort of a group, logical group. So you can create a default buyer user, sorry, buyer organization. So consider your buyer or shoppers. So you are basically creating some logical group. So you can basically say all my user part of the buyer organization. This is also possible. You can also say no, that is fine, true. Also, I can division my user in some other organization. So you can do that. So what I'm going to do here is, so buyer user, at this moment there is nothing. So I'm going to do is this buyer, create new buyer. So this is the buyer organization I'm talking about. So we can say buyer organization, and then so I'm not creating any user, I am creating the organization and the buyer organization. And look, there is a default catalog ID. You don't need to put anything here. You can simply hit the send button, and then you can see the default catalog is automatically generated with the same organization name that you used, buyer organization. So now if I go and check the organization I can see here I have the organization ready. Now it is very important when you are going to create your user. So now what I am going to do is think of a scenario that a user is logged into your system or authenticated or registered to the system. Then that user will be part of here. But since my storefront is not yet in the market, so I am creating some buyer user by myself, so that you can test the user journey. And every time when you are going to create the user, it will always ask the buyer ID. Buyer ID means your buyer organization. So we need to say, okay, I'm going to create a user here. So let me post create user. Then you need to pass a couple of important parameters. Number one is where this particular user will be belonged. So you can say, okay, this user is going to part of my buyer organization. So if you have multiple organization, then obviously you need to take it carefully. But here, since we only have one buyer organization, and ID we can say user one, and then you can say user @ 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and oh sorry, user one and password user at 1 2 3 4 5 6. First name you can say guest user gu@email.com. I'm just filling in some information. Now I have created my buyer user here. So if I hit this get in point, get a list of user, then you will be able to, oh, so in the get you also need the organization. It will ask you which organization's user you need. So I can say my organization, buyer organization. Then you can see here, this is the user I've created. So I've created on buyer user, on seller means admin user. Now what? I did not give any role or any permission yet, right? So I have just created two user, and you can see here the available roles is empty. See here, and as well as if you see in the admin user, there is no role here, available roles, right? So we need to specify the roles so that this user can do certain things. For admin user, it doesn't, it makes sense that okay, admin user is admin. So if you don't put anything there, obviously admin user will be treated as sort of admin, automatic sort of role assignment. But we need to do certain role assignment here. So you can go each of the user and you can assign the roles, but the best approach is you should not do that. You should create your security profile first. So what we'll do is we'll create two security profiles. On security profile, I will create the admin security profile. Another one I will be creating for the guest security profile. So this is also easy. And then we'll assign that security profile to the user. You know what I mean? So you will create the security profile and then you can assign that security profile to your specific user. And that way that would be easier for you to manage. Otherwise, that is going to be very hard for you. So in the security profile, we can create new security profile, but I am going to use that API way. So I will hit this one, and then here you will be able to see all this endpoint. So now what I am going to do is I am going to first of all select this one and hit, and see there is no security profile assigned or created here. So now I am going to create a new security profile. This is very important, and we can say here this is the admin profile, admin profile. And in the role, important, because since you are admin, will be doing a lot of different things. So I am going to select first this one, and then I am going to select a lot. I mean, this totally up to you, but I like to select. So since I am admin, so I can also do certain things. Buyer, I can be a buyer admin as well, or a buyer user reader. It's up to you. And then I will be able to manage the order. So I will be the order admin. I will be able to manage the catalogs. So I will also be the catalog admin. I would able to manage the product. So I want to be the product admin. And then I will also be, so there is another one, product assignment admin. This is also very important. What is product assignment? I will let you know. And then if I want to add the price schedule as well, what is price schedule? If you want to specify the price to a product, this is called price schedule. So I'll also do that because I am an admin user. And then if I want to manage the shipments, once the cart or the order is ready, then we need to ship it. And we need to do a lot of different activities for that. We need to create the parcel. We need to go to the sort of, do a lot of different things. This is called shipping. So I will also be the shipping admin here. So now I did that, and then I have assigned all those different sort of roles. But if we need it, then we'll definitely add more here. And then I'm not gonna do anything. I'll just simply say hit the send button, and then you can see the admin profile is created. Now if you see the list, then you will see I have on admin profile. So I am going to hit create new for another, which will say guest, or you can say shopper or buyer profile. Okay, so admin profile and buyer profile. For the buyer profile though, buyer profile, we are not going to give a lot of different things. So we will say for buyer, so he will be able to control him. So we'll say me admin, so he will be the admin of him. And then product, sorry, there is a specific role called shopper, which is very important. Shopper means, he will be able to shop. And then obviously he will be able to reset his password. So I will also give the password reset role as well. So I think that three is enough for the shopper buyer role. Nice. So now if I hit that get endpoint, then you will be able to see I have created two security profiles. So I have created security profiles. It is the time now to assign this security profile to my different users. So how we are going to do that? So we'll go here and we'll go all right. So security profile, and here we'll go and select. There is a thing called create. Uh, okay, so this is not get a list of security profile assignment. And see here, there is no assignment here. So we are going to create update a security profile assignment. So we are going to do that. So when we'll do that, then we need certain things. So security profile ID. So I have the admin user, admin profile. We have already created, right? And now this admin profile will be going to the buyer ID. This is important. Buyer, supplier, user, right? So security profile ID, and then um, for there are two things very important. Number one is we have the shopper or the buyer, and another one is your seller. So see here, there is no seller box here. So what you are going to do for seller? So seller, you don't need to worry. We just simply say I have a security profile ID, which is admin profile, and I am not going to select anything here. I just simply set a hit, and that way it says 204 means it successfully did the job. Means this admin profile will automatically be assigned, since we are not using anything here, will be your seller users. But the other thing we need to do is we also need this buyer profile, and buyer profile will be your buyer ID, means your buyer organization. So that is your buyer organization we created, right? Send it, and then see they are all done. So now I'll check the here, and so you will see there are two profile I've created, assignment basically. So admin profile we assigned with nothing, so that would be totally the admin. But for buyer profile we created the buyer, we created for the buyer organization. Now once it is done, then the interesting thing happens. Now if you explore the admin user, you will see automatically the admin user will be part of your all the admin rows that we have created before. That is the magic, because it internally knows that this particular profile was assigned to nothing. Just simply we say assign, that's all. So that is going to be part of your admin, since we did not specify seller, sorry, buyer or supplier. So that's why that will be part of automatically the admin or seller. But in the buyer, interestingly, if you are going to see the buyer, so for buyer, you need to use the buyer organization first. So buyer organization. And if you hit this button, then you will be able to see all the buyer users, or you can say all the user who is part of your buyer organization. And you see these automatically, the role is coming here. So the magic here is now if you create another user, for example, so I'm going to create, so let me copy this one. I'm going to create another user, say user 2. Okay, so user 2, sorry, this one is the organization ID. Here you can say user 2, active, we'll say user 22, and here we say user at the rate 123456, user 2, and you will be able to see last name test u2 anything. And interestingly, you'll see automatically the role will be assigned. Why? Because we created that security profile and we applied that security profile here to my organization, buyer organization. And any user under that organization will be part of that profile automatically. So that is the magic of, doing certain things in a certain order, and this obviously order cloud. So you'll be able to see that list of users with all those different roles automatically assigned. Now we did a lot of different things, so we are almost ready. So we have created our storefront, we have created our normal user buyer organization. We also have created our admin user as well. Now it is the time to create our product. What do you think? I think that's good. So let's do, but before that, I think it's important to, before creating the product, I think we will be able to access everything now from the Postman. I think that would be appropriate. Um, but um, let me do one thing though. That catalog I have here. Um, So let me explore this catalog. So if you see here this catalog, you'll see that there is one catalog already created for us. Who created this one? So once we created the buyer organization, since buyer organization means all the user will be part of this organization and they will be able to buy. So a catalog was already created there so that you can add your product to this particular catalog. Okay, this is very important. And now, if you want to create your product, then you can create the product, but that product will not be visible until and unless you assign that particular product to your catalog. This is called catalog assignment. So for that, what I'll do is, let me go and hit these categories products here, and there is no product obviously. So if I now go and create a new product, and we can say P001 active sample product 1 description, we can also say the same thing and hit this button. So then you can see here this product has created. Now if you go here and get the list of products, so today I am not going to show you guys the Postman journey. That will be from the next video, but because from there we will be able to connect to this storefront. We can be able to generate our token so that we can use that one and connect to your system as an admin or as a normal user. So I'll show you that one in details. But this product, you can see here, there are a couple of things in the product. So product is created, right? That is good. Owner is your storefront, your marketplace ID. And then you can see here the ID and the name and description, and then you can see the quantity multiplier is 1, means at a time you can actually sold this one as a sort of 1, and it is also active, and a lot of different data is there, but there is no price information here in this product. And also the price schedule is not. What is price schedule? Price schedule is a different entity, which basically means that your product and price, two different entity, they are not same. So you can create your different pricing model, and later on you can basically say, okay, this product is part of this price model, this product is part of that price model. So you can basically create your different rules, and you can assign the same product with different price model, so that that product will appear in a different price based on the rules that you set. So this is very, very interesting thing. But the other interesting thing is, you can see here there is a there's nothing. So the product is there, but this product is not yet assigned to any catalog. So how can we prove that one? So let me go and check here. get a list of product assignment. If you see here, there is nothing, because we did not create any assignment. So if you see this create or update a product assignment, then you can see here there is a seller ID that you need to use here, um, and then the product ID here, and then um, the buyer ID and the price schedule ID. Okay, so the price, you can also use the price schedule here. And then also, I'm not interested to that one. Let me go in the catalogs. And you can see here there is one catalog, but if I go here, get a list of catalog assignment, um, we'll see there is a assignment. So there is a catalog with the buyer already assigned, which is good. Then this is important, get a list of catalog product assignment. You can see here there is nothing here. That means, or whatever the product that you have under this product, they are just orphan product. They are created there, but it's not ready to use. Once you set everything, means you create the product, you create the price, you map this price to the product, and everything is done. You create the different spec of the product. What is product spec? I'll show you that one as well. But when you did everything, then you are basically saying, okay, my product is ready. We can also create your different variants. That is also another video I'll show you, because variant design is very interesting. Once everything is done, then you will be able to say, okay, my product is done. Let's publish this product. Publish means assign this product to your catalog. So that is there. So you can see here this the get list of product assignment is empty. So now what I am going to do, I create update catalog product assignment. Here we can say the catalog ID, which is our catalog, which is basically means let me hit this one. This is the catalog, which is buyer organization. Copy, and then here you can say the catalog ID is that product ID. What was the product ID? I forget the product ID. So product ID was P001. So in the catalog, we just need to say this is my catalog ID and this is my product ID P001. Once you did that, then it's a 204, which means it's successfully executed. And then if you see the list of product assignment, then you will see there is a product which is P001 is already part of your buyer organization default catalog. That means this product is ready to access, even though we did not configure the pricing of the product. So I'll basically quickly show you guys the price schedule, and probably I'll finish this video because it is going to be very big now otherwise. So price schedule, there is nothing at this moment. So what we'll do is we'll create a new price schedule. You can say price schedule P P001 PR price schedule PR001, and then you can say generic price for shirt. All right, and then you can see a lot of thing here: minimum quantity, maximum quantity, add price break, currency, what is going to be your currency, a lot of different things. So I'm not gonna use that one. Those are all optional. Now, important, the price break. So we missed that one. So we need to use the price break though, because price break is very important. Otherwise, how would you define the price, right? Um, so let me use this price break here. Where is that? Let me create or update a price schedule, and then let me use this ID here, price schedule ID. This is the same as this one. Name is this one. So I just need to update this one. And then minimum quantity 1, maximum quantity 12, add price break, uh, one quantity, you can say 50, and then sell price, we can say 45, and then you can add another price break. that if your quantity is 2, then what is going to be that scenario, something like this. So now we can see when we hit that one, then I can see that price is updated, and you can see here minimum quantity, maximum quantity, and then price break. You can see the price here as well. So this one is there. So you have created the schedule of the price of your product, but you did not assign yet, right? So we need to we need to basically assign your product to the price schedule, and that you can do here through product. I guess here. Um, let me see if there is that one, or maybe here under price schedule. So create update price schedule, delete partially update, create update price schedule, delete price. Okay, so there is nothing here. And the product, I'm pretty sure here. Um, so we have this product assignment. So we need to product assignment here. Uh, so here we need to say, okay, this is the product and this is the price schedule. So, we can say the price schedule ID is PR0, this one, and then the product ID we have is P001. So this product has this price schedule, and the seller ID, I think it is not that important. Buyer ID, okay, buyer ID is important. So buyer ID is buyer organization. So now it's created. Now we'll see the list of product assignments. We'll see that we have the seller, and seller it will get automatically from the context. So it means my shop. We have created this product, and the buyer organization means the organization where all the users are belonged, who are basically shopping in my storefront or shops. And there is no user specified, group specified, but we have a price schedule is this one for that particular product. um, that means if you now go in the list of products here, then you will be able to see basically everything here. So we have the ID, and interestingly this product has a price schedule assigned. That means you'll be able to you'll be able to get this product, you'll be able to buy this product. This is also very, very important. Now the next thing we have here is what's that? Um, Variants and everything I'll show you in the next video. But for now, what we did, we created our security profile for our two security profile. One is for admin profile, and another one for the shopper profile. And then we see that this admin profile was completely successfully assigned to our admin user. At the same time, our buyer, we have created the buyer organization, and the buyer organization, we can basically check all the user underneath that buyer organization, and we can see all the available rows that we've created. They are also assigned successfully. And then we created our catalog. So we did not create, it was automatically created, but the products I created here, and then we can see that we have created one simple product. And then we also created the price schedule for a product. So that product ID has a price associated with it, right? So everything is already there. Now basically from this application or portal, we did a lot of different things, but the realistic scenario is, you will have your different application. You have your admin app, you will have your storefront site where user will go and buy different products. One of the products I've created already with the price of that. Then you need to test that scenario, but not from here. You'll not be able to do that. You need a separate application. You could create your storefront, but we'll create the postman and we'll execute the scenario from there. And then another app, admin app, where you will be able to, so you will not go here and create your product, right? In the realistic scenario, you will not be able to, I mean, you will not do that because that is not user friendly. So what you need a separate app where you will have different user who will log in, and they will be part of your admin user, right? And then they will log in, and through the UI they will upload different products, create variants, add, assign, whatever the price and everything. So that is going to be the whole total expectation, and then that would be sort of my, so I'll continue from here in the next video. So next video, what I'll do is I'll create my Postman collection, and I'll show you guys how can you log in as an admin user and do certain administrative tasks like create a product or upload I mean, create product, create categories, all those different administrative tasks, because normally a normal user will not be able to do that. And then I will also show you from the Postman how can we log in as a normal user or communicate as a normal user to your storefront. And in that scenario, your normal user has very limited permission. You can see here, normal user has only these three, so he can manage himself, that is fine, and then he can do shopper role, which is basically means he will be able to see all those products which are already published, means which are already assigned to a certain catalogs, and that catalog is also assigned to your buyer organization. Only that scenario, that product will be able to display, I mean that guy user 2 will be able to see. And also that user will be able to purchase that product, means he will be able to add that product to the cart, and then later on he will be able to submit that product sort of order, so that the order can be fulfilled. So a lot of different things, and then you also need to do a lot of different advanced operations. So I'll also show you guys that one as well. So a lot of thing, lot of work. So I'll gradually continue, and I'll create a couple of videos so that everything will be covered. So today was very basic, so I'll encourage you guys go here this website and go through all the different sections or knowledge base, or anything, any confusion that you have, then just go and check that out. And next video we will be jumping into the sort of an slightly advanced side of this order cloud, so that you will be able to communicate through the Postman application. And the third video probably will create a small storefront by ourselves, so that user will be able to show the see the storefront. So I already have created a small storefront already, so probably I'll show you a little glimpse of that. So now if I go here, then you'll see um, it's nothing basically, but let me, I also have a little sort of middleware. So I am not directly communicating, but I also created a middleware, so I'll show you guys how can you do that, do your middleware as well. And then through that you will be able to access your, so now here, see this storefront I created, very easy. I mean, it took only 1 hour or so, but you can see here the products are appearing here. There is a cart, 9 item. I can go and add the product, and it would be like 10 now. I can add another one, 12. If I go cart, then you will be able to see. I mean, the design is not fancy, obviously. A designer can do that, but you can basically do submit order, and the order will be going to the admin site, where admin can basically fulfill the order. And then I also have this product, and I can see the product. You can search different things, because Order Cloud is very rich in searching, and we can extend a lot of different things. But yeah, that would be my sort of other video. I don't think we should include a lot of different contents in this video, but I think bye bye for now. We'll see you very soon in the next video.